agus tá má go líonú screen share love a PowerPoint journal so seo cean seo. Okay, well an nead an PowerPoint sin echa. Yeah, okay. So the rest just for that air resistance. So another lemon measures your spare tomodar, so skydiver, right? So the force of your spare tomodar tashi chechim. So the force of a skydiver as he falls are. So the rest to mehan ig ahandenye. So my lemon to mass airplane or what it has was are the rodnert agus chechin too. To the go hatchim by the force of gravity where yalder the mehan. As the rest can you go mehan cosmona mass made the fat don't tarnish. So weight is mass by gravity. So the rest narekitas and skydiver shaw a lemon as the natural tasha chechim la mehan sigahin. Okay. Now branch G gutrom exitatu to go hatchim with the force of your mass. So begin mass at a good for gravity at 9.8 meters per second squared. Now, make it as a skydiver show and show is a chechim to go a hatchim sheets. Now, as tasha chechim tasha go a hashert a giri niskashti is niskashti. Okay, so because the chechim then the treoluas go arrow agus go lady niskashti agus niskashti. Now, rud the Harlan shen asked to chechim ten air push al suas, so to go yedin in air. So the air resistance or frittiat air a gal into tra ur hora. So shaw frittiat air and shaw. Now, egg punch air here. Tad the mehan, agus the frittiat air and shaw a gal a ve merigern. So ten force suas or frittiat air gal a ve cosmon force the shees shin the mehan. Right, near Harlan shin road the hermit terminal velocity here. Okay, now Hanik shouldn't use a paper screw the blade wine just there's that mini terminal velocity. I guess shaw doi venient to and shaw. So the rest what a fretty there no free comment here or a take found new suas to a mehan found new sheets. Now the hatchin shake mal ten fretty at air bug. So glass tashin chachim your marn luas I get. I guess therefore tasha la luas caru. Real golan treoluas ag arrow to luas caruega. So to mehan W ni smona R, so to W to mehan ni smona frettiat air, agus therefore luas carrying and then shees. Now the remer remaining in luas majors are R fast. Now in discussion in cha to the god discussion in air, so therefore to frettiat air go ni small. Now puncher luas area ma. So a certain speed, a certain luas, so jeru There are made and fretted air cosmony fret mehan and far. So it is in luashis, then mehan, reality mehan and far, go to cosmony fretted air. So it's in force. So it's much as there's too much kind for vectors, I guess kind for force up, I guess force down, I guess much inversely identical, therefore, there's a cosmony 0 newtons. So you'll force the big there. I guess all of the hermit terminal velocity. Now, real goes at terminal means near check luas carry ni small because ten luas caru ag notch because ten forces suas cosmon forces she so ten acceleration ag 0 but tasha stalik chechim la luas treoluas tarasha. So tasha stalik chechim la luas tarasha. Okay, so when chen nial co haru and force ag 5 near and far so the rare headsly newton ten luas caru ag notch. So lianan she ag luas fui treoluas tarasha crí treoluas a tugter so crí treoluas shorod terminal. Crí treoluas in terminal velocity. I talked there a treoluas. Okay? We'll shin take a gahananya or we'll catch nig the newbie. No, catch nig the newbie so down and you okay lesson. Okay. Right. So American tunash the texture Rimage fridge 5 minutes gene hits slide so ration cost of far chechim le luas tarasha so crí treoluas because the skateboard so an air fretty at air push as suas I guess the man takes in push as she's because obviously gene to rocket into the background is going to go a lot faster. Okay. Now Mackinton sampling national imagery G cart and the punch it off. So Mackinton is the shot So force is suas leis an elevator agus de mé na fear bogu síos fásta. So fear de mass arc per kilogram. Shasan shear mé in ardí seo. So stís an elevator, tá se an hasir weighing scales. Okay? So shasan shear mé in ardí seo, so na hasir weighing scales is an elevator. Now chechin an ardí tá gur sir fwy don't time. So that means an elevator, it chechim shees abala la don't time. So tan ardí gluas garu, ag ni put your art matters a second kernel. So shinny bogu shees, so mehan by 9.8 is very shin did you mehan online take a far. So mini came fire will come again mehan again far. Look he now will mehan be a far. So race la shin vini. Chechin and far, I guess an argy short, la shin luaska kerne, it rames you don't turn chin down. So Mershin, a gas and argy short nial luaska be a far. Because there's a chechim egg and Mata chechim make a red kernel la don't turn nial luaska be er. Mershin, a gas and argy short nial 40 be 5 near far. Marial goes at chechim at a red don't turn. I guess Mershin to come again mehan again far and gas and argy short. We cheftuition nurse na hash imagine couple grind in the kitchen cost a kiss quick kiss care agus kiss quick in cart no punch it door. Okay. Just packed and shin faster it's a text lord gan mehan and at the seer church. Okay. Principle and her momentum rhyme free chin near to exercise me punch it door or jant to go in. So race ma just call aggression. So stop share. I guess material tashat kish exercise 9.2. So my hashmich 9.2 I guess I'm a free grind in the kishni. So to shake you're on the shake history and just shake history wrong channels. I guess and shan rahima free Slee and come at momentum live, I guess be I give an exercise a lian from your upper ball when you hit lala. Okay?
Aye.
Yeah, why you Dennis? Right. So Tashimit like kish every he nation. So it is lay kish go kurma. Let's go show she's going. Lay kish go kurma I guess ramit reach get there yet. So Hashmid like kish every he cart. So cart ni punch it all kish every he. Okay. Now a car of mass so tasking equal M cause my short head Fisic quick kilogram. Okay. A glushart Erlina Gira a uniform speed of 30 meters per second. Now, then you be adding to do Jack with the other mention to Gene Kel till a uniform speed.
Nyasha Garu.
Nyasha Garu. So Gene Lewis Garu.
Draw another second.
No, shin Troll Lewis. 0. Yeah, good lad. See, Manuel Arrow be a Troll Lewis. Therefore, in Lewis Garu quadrant notch. So it reached test when you nash goal U agus V. U agus V. So behorting U quadrant troha. Agus the V quadrant troha. Because you later be here. So the A quadrant 0. Okay. Faster generation if the total resistance to the motion is 400 newtons. So smooch shaw la diagram. So motion the car, I guess the short head Fisic quick kilogram. I guess there's a carriage upper marking force at the balancing the total resistance, air resistance, there's a cosmic shea head Newton. Okay. So what is the driving force due to the engine? So carriage force F or upper irritation and so on. Okay. So reached can they abrumage ma F. So reached to F quadrumla M midifa A. Okay. So reached carriage Lewis Garu A abruma hedui. Well, Christensen has level road at uniform speed of 30 meters per second. If the total resistance to its motion is 600 users, what is the driving force due to the engine? And give a reason for your answer. So, what's the driving force due to the engine? Well, then you be adding to do. Jane resulting force. Jane matan luas garu codrum na 0, gin force the balance.
0.
0. So the force is 0 newtons. So therefore, what is the total driving force of the car? Gin total driving force. So we cheer the vectors in us. So the 0 newtons of balance against the 600 newtons of balance. So what's the total driving force? Can you be added into the
600. No?
600 newtons. So for part of it here, so then force the chamanche. Cosma shade Newton. Okay. Now, because the car a chamanche a uniform speed, so a treoluas tarasha, so therefore kahin luas get away codrum notch. So the resultant force is 0. So resultant force is 0. Then whole lot so reach to go over shade Newton. Was okay again then, yeah? So she had part in cash. Now, if the engine is capable of exerting a force of 1,000 newtons, so reach with an engine could force it 1,000,000 newton. Okay, so just more robust and often us. So I'm asking question. Okay, so race round back in formula. So race again Lewis get over more. So the A codumla F is gun M, which the codumla. So the force reached Mille Luja Shea head. Because the got Mille balla went to the got Shea head the ballala, so reaching a different other forces so the shin coduma K head Newton into torsion shin. Is gun a mass. So Jin mass a take a car, yeah head or short head Fisic quick kilogram. I guess the question is the calculator. I should be punch a quick in a short matter sa second. And then you okay lesson? Yeah. Okay. Now, what is the least time it would take the car to reach a velocity of 100 kilometers per hour? Okay, so we had part of it and we get the obruma Jane Lewis who I get a 100 kilometer sa buar. So was in again and you can show about ma. I was bombing in a part of the other. The cat go low.
I carry on.
Carry on, right? Right, so I'm reading this Kajin down apart. So at least, what is the least time it would take for the car to reach a velocity of 100 kilometers per hour? So 100 kilometers to where? Then is the high general lesson. Do you usually animate like kilometers to where? How much are you? Idea be good, Dennis?
Not really.
Dean, thought didn't you though?
Matter.
Matter's a second. Kilometers per hour, so how much are meters per second? So like 100 kilometer meters, sin 100 midi famile. I guess it is 5 second in word, sin shaska for shaska, so sin 3 vile she hit. So reach to sin codumla, 100 mile. Is gan 3 vile she hit. As the sin go per a ma egg, piece of shart, punch a shart art, matters a second. Matters a second. Okay, so sin ik had the height the kai 2 kilometers per hour at g meters per second. Do you get this in Dennis?
Aye.
Yeah, okay. Now, there's a sin jant going to go usage formula. So reached what is the least time? So to so race ramage like B equals U plus AT. Okay. Now test going go U codumla notch because Kaisha stop it. Okay. To V codumla 100 kilometers to where? Switch the codumla piece of shart, punch a shart to art matters a second. Okay. To GL test going. So on part revision test going go A codumla. Nemni punch a quick. Give you a win. Nemni punch a quick he in a shart to be. madras sa second cearna. Agus tá muid cuairtú T. So nas tá muid ada seo nas líonú se sa formula. So tá bhí codimna físa seart, pointú seart a ort, codimna 0 plus A, nemni pointú cuici hína seart, midi fa T. So tá T, codimna físa seart, pointú seart a ort, a rantar nemni pointú cuici i hína seart. Agus bhí sin dún am da cuiga pointú 3 cuic second. Okay. Agus tácu sin, the least time it would take the car to reach a velocity of 100 kilometers per hour if it starts from rest. So when you go to Tasha to start, test can go you codimna 0. We get these luas the fisa sharp punch short out matters a second once you more. Agus the luas carry then you punch quick hina short matters a second can. Okay. Ahana you okay lesson? Shin catch every heat. Okay. I'm trying to SQG catch every door. Now catch every door a bullet traveling at 200 meters per second enters a block of wood and emerges from the other side traveling at 50 meters per second. So the block what you're going it took a massive block enters a block of wood. Yeah. So shin wood I guess the bullet so just tiny bullet so we call institution I guess took a mahadati wala. Okay. Now to mass a bullet traveling at 200 meters per second enters a block which emerges from the other side traveling at 50 meters per second. So these slow as she's. So obviously slow the block with never free to block now to mass a bullet 0.002 kilograms. So 2 kilograms. Okay, I guess locking that at a bullet mass of being or fish free to them. So if the mass of the bullet is 0.02 kilograms, find the average force exerted on the bullet by the block. So the curtain forces in the shin at the time what the car or the bullet. Okay, right. So Jane here wrote the kind of job with the data. That the hostile data
Acceleration.
Right. So to make see American tested to make curtain force. So I'm going to more just so that the back to Valvision grey level faster. They should catch my shots to robo culture catch the tashat. Now Malayan testing cast to make curtain the force at the block with the car or a bullet. So race wrote to get in to make curtain force. So race go to your tablet curtain formula for your force. So force equals mass by acceleration. Now the mass of bullet dogging, so therefore kind of luas garu obruma than force obruma. Okay, so to make it obruma jin luas garu, so obviously to shall be luas malu to go on deceleration because to go yeah head kuji quicker. So to A codumla V minus U is gone T. Okay. Now ten A mogun, so to T codumla nyevni punch nyevni quick second. Okay, so to add the A obruma, so the A codumla yahid, or communishka ball heart, quicker minus yahid, around nyevni punch nyevni quick. So the shin codumla, when the shin share the calculator, you to figure the 3 wheel or trohamile. Matters a second, currently. Okay, so next task going Lewis carry. So next to able to a force of Brumar. So the force codumna mass made for Lewis carry, which the codumna nevni punch nevni do made for Lewis carry the troha mile. I guess we shouldn't do in frigere da shaska Newton. So shinne force at an block a cur ar a bullet. A hanna jo chéile se.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Right. So when you hen trial vir ma sé chintan 10 to 3. Right. So vir ma quick one was div. When you hen trial as cash every 3 and then ram a free. So next ma just a gen in the cash ni volume hen of trial the one chance. So when trial as cash every 3, get to Jimmy utere and then ram free cash 3 and then cash every care. So make the cash over 3 to make quarter tension T and it's a cable and okay. So an object of mass 2,000 kilograms is being lowered. So intercostal cash every sample every art and so it reached the Jin mehan. So the weight cosmla mass maybe for don't challenge. Okay. So a reached test going question cosmla vile maybe for the punch art. With the cosmla when this is the calculator. Jig mile sé hit. So sin force she's leis meall ar a mehan, but the intention of your learn, okay? Now, so a reached to make a quarter intention. So could you imagine? So a reached J test again. So an object of mass 200 kilograms is being lowered from the top of a building by means of a metal cable. Find the tension in the cable if the object is being lowered at a constant velocity. So, Martin treoluas tarasha ega, tasking gola luas garu, cosmos 0. Okay, So we all go to luas carry codrum 0, therefore kahin tension if in rod kernel leis mehan when you chechim shees. So reached when you so can you get new kind for terminal velocity? Mathematic chechim, what's a chechim shees against the mehan against an air resistance earns in cash on tension. Call it codrum leis mehan, we have 0 acceleration. So reach kahi W if a codrum la T in the cash on show. Which the codrum la me jig mile she Newton. Okay. So in part of the heat. Part of the door, the object has been lowered with a downward acceleration of 2 meters per second. So part of the door, what a codrum door mother sa second kearney. Okay. So erase what the enemy in na to force codrum mass midifa luascar. Okay. So erase the majority in the screw as an so erase because the tension called as Lewis. So erase task going 19,600. Luge attention T call it codrum mass by acceleration. So mass is shot is vile midifa do. So in question and force the codrum vile midifa do is the codrum vile Newton. Okay, so ratio to nijig mile she head, luge tension, codrum vile Newton. So when the T shan agus shan trasna, so you to quijig vile she head, codrum T. So the tension, codrum quijig mile she head Newton. Okay, and then you okay lesson. Dean Dennis agus Killa Togumanchen let's group some Japan you're Dean you but Aaron was I show Killa major from a region.
Yeah.
Dara Jack James C agus order okay lesson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Right, Ramajriga G Kashivriker. But it is Connie Kevin what acceleration she's that do matters a second with a force of 400 newtons. So with the force the K hit Newton tasking will tension. When within you might differ either a force up against a force down. So all of a codrum in acceleration. So in the cash shot an acceleration there is a 400 or 4,000 newtons doing. So reached a differ either shin agashin all of a codrum a force due to the acceleration. Which the KV Newton, and therefore the tension will be called 15,600 newtons. Okay. Now the moon tension kist simply. The moon tension is small. Now need Newton. For example, 20,000 newtons. Kim Bala will block all hall. Just na she's Dean.
Zero cash.
Cash to do with Martin Mehan Abernish grow Abernish grown force ni small. Into question so Martin force ni small na 19,600 newtons. Martin tension ni small na ni slew na 19,600 or ni small na 19,600 newtons. Kim Bala will shaw go hot. Suas na she's. Suas, yeah, because switch your resultant force. Shin the weight, shin the tension. So it is switch your resultant force, BJ can this motion and try to the gala on. So in the question shaw, we are going to tension 15,600 newtons. I guess the shaw weight, 19,600 newtons, shin differ the Kayavili Newton Chisabala. Downwards. So my point is shin is in the formula, test going acceleration I get that 2 meters per second. Does that make sense? You know, Keldiv?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. From Drake G Kestevri care. So, here. Right, so a mass of 10 kg hangs from a string balance which is fixed to the ceiling of a lift. Right, so the lift to go in your show. Okay. Agus there's a crafter ceiling and lift the weight. Okay, agus 10 kg. Now, so ratio draw the kite is a figure of the show, right? The tension golovin show. So Sabala agus the weight the golovin she Sabala. So here draw the goni obrumon is the Jenny Kishin obrumon Jane Mehan. So the W Kodjumla mass by gravity. So restation Kodjumla J made if a knee punch of art with the Kodjumla Niha art Newton. And then you okay lesson. So test in the school of Mehan cheese Niha art Newton. Okay. Now here draw the Kaimage obrumon. Question of the heen. If the balance reaches newtons, find the reading on it. Spring which is fixed in it. If the balance reaches newtons, find the reading on it when the lift is ascending at a constant speed of 3 meters per second. So, question of the heen. Then left the bogu like 3 meters a second. So, to A Kodjumla 0. So, because there's a constant, to A Kodjumla 0. So, Konyi Kavnye. Well, the tension minus the weight, Kodjumla, mass by acceleration. Okay? Mass by acceleration. So just can you go near a formula? Okay? So test of going rush when you part of the heen, the tension minus Nia art Newton, Kodjumla J kilogram by 0 acceleration. Because you lose Kerubega. So therefore the T Kodjumla Noha art Newton. Okay. Kid partiale, part of the door. It reached J Hugshadun ascends with an acceleration of 2 meters per second squared. Now Tamshaw, then we got like 2 meters per second squared. So shin A, Kodjumla door meters a second currently when you part of the door. So reached the tension, Luigi Nia art, Kodjumla J midifa door meters a second currently. So reached the tension, Kodjumla, so going to near artras and minus plus V you to Kate agus art jig Newton. Okay. Will my god all gassed it or will my god like pace alright?
Alright.
Alright, okay. Right. Well this Jack, does that the kist ever the now, go with discussion ascends it and shin. So shin rala she's okay. Be ascends so it's not descend she's the church of the Junior Burla. So actually sin force got so it's about so shin actually die hard to so he can unless I got she's about. Okay, so it reached part of the tree, so it reached just be Kuruma so Bahagum he had vert to make you got acceleration to Sabala. So when you get canal for your part of your tree, you got she Sabala. So just the so descends with an acceleration of 2 meters per second squared. So Shaw made you got she like 2 meters per second squared. Okay. So it reached into question Shaw at in the formula heart. So it reached then we've got a lock a 10 by gravity. So J made it for gravity. Kodjumla or to 10G minus T. So the end of the heart because the got in the opposite direction. So it's the weight. So you should know her 98 actually. When you part over the 3. So you do 98 minus T Kodjumla, which is talking J made it for do. Okay, because we're going in the opposite direction, it's the weight minus the tension. Okay, so it reached you to T Kodjumla, so when 20 T tras there's rate 20 the mohas so you to sharp mo art Newton. Okay, hit partiale Part K descends at 3 meters per second. Now, 3 meters per second means an acceleration of 0. 3 meters per second is a constant, so therefore to the left 0, so you to niha art, luja t, cosma j for notch. So the t cosma niha art Newton. Because a part journey descends with an acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared. So it is descends, so it is to go she's the new punch art matters a second. So in part journey, you to near art, luja t, cosma j, and the punch art. So it is the t, gully cosma 0 newtons. This is gully halimo. Okay. We'll test need the be for the addition. No. Okay. Right. Ramjari could you cash every quick? Neil Declan open you just lock him roll the gunny kin or lunch so the bucket is laher Declan, Kella, Liam. Seamus. Sinead, Declan, Liam, agus Seamus is laher. Okay. Right. So Joe Kayla Hollerig G H Kessella.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So kiss you very quick. Okay. So kiss you quick, Joshua. A man of mass 8 kilogram na has to your weighing scale is the left. Right. So reach Costland sample. The Vinimadi, so it's in the fat. Na has to your weighing scales. So just generally good weighing scales and shit. Okay. It's the left. It's in mass the 8 kilogram igifa. So the reached in secretion and then shunt mehan and shunt. So to weight, cause my kid made if a knee punch art, with the cause my knee hit art more Newton. Okay. Find the reading on the left when it is at rest. So Jane reading at the gonna be when you part of the heat, so much actually should able to just the nation of Bruma. The other one left the buggy, 0 acceleration, so therefore the knee hit art more Newton gonna be into left and so. Okay. Now the variation is given in terms of formula. Now you'll tension to be in short times so question accord to be on, but at least variation is given equal a net force, so N minus knee hit art more, so no, so cost a T minus the weight, but in the case of N minus W. Gonna be cosma mass by acceleration, so reach a mass in 8 kilogram, maybe for 0. I guess variation did N earns the cash to N gonna be cosma net force, gonna be cosma knee hit artmo Newton. Okay. When you part over the door, moves upwards with a steady speed of 4 meters per second. Or I would get each other one as a part and do. So moves with a steady speed of Swiss upwards at 4 meters per second. So Jane Lewis Garu. Nevni. So it is because there's a constant velocity treoluas tarisha tasking gula Lewis Garu a cosma notch. Okay. So it is just because my dolly into the cash. Because it just moves upwards with a steady speed of 4 meters per second. So it is again shiniscrew she's called N Luce Mehan cosma kid made for notch. Because it is you to N cosma Frederick Kern. They hit Artmo Newton. Okay. Jack getting hit Canaliano at the heart. Part of the tree. Tree moves upwards, downwards with a steady speed of 4 meters per second. So time shot to me bogu she's ag cehar madas a second. So Jane Lewis Gary?
Nevni.
Nevni reached. Okay. So reached to a bogus shees, la 0, but the times are swapping to heart in the formulas because the Miguel to draw hora. So you do 980 minus n, cos my kid made for 0. So reached to n, Golway Cosma, the head Artmo, Newton. Okay. Aaron, get you taking a little for you. So J-task on your time show accelerates upwards at 3 meters per second. So J-engine should do?
Usage imagine formula T luge W. Oh no, not from the tension.
So J-tasking for the done Lewis Gary here do we? J Lewis Gary take us to us?
3 matters a second.
3 matters a second, Kearney, yeah. So it is because the magic got Swiss, the magic got Lewis had formula and show n minus 980. So it is the net force is the Migari Canada. Smitchy wrote the token shot to force cheese against the force Swiss. So the net force is the 2 gobber mark, which is the when the kind of way you mass can the acceleration. Okay. So can you acceleration force equals mass by acceleration. So what the force of bogus Swiss mass by acceleration is due to the weight bogus east and force of bogus Swiss. So it is to mid file n minus 9 Dartmouth Newton Golway Cosma Kate Medifa 3. Okay, the 3 matters a second we are going to. Okay, so it is operation 2.3 head plus 980 task equal n Golway Cosma Mile head Artmo Newton. Okay. Daniela, Aaron, Janta, Dara, Janta, Jack, Janta, Jamesy. Part of the quick. Tasking for quick. Accelerates downwards at 3 meters per second. So Tamshaw, then we've got she's like 3 meters a second Kearney here. So reached formula, Jamesy. Okay, to unmute all, Jamesy.
F equals MA.
So erased you to new head Artmo minus n Cosma Kate made for 3. So you into the opposite because we also throw flip the chart a formula. So raise the n Cosma put 3 head the Mars new head chas Artmo execute the she head Artmo Newton. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Harmid Dennis, guys, you look up Irish. Okay, so part journey, primary free just so descends with an acceleration of 9.8 meters per second. So we can journey to me call ignui punch art matters a second she's so erased you with new head art mo Luja n Cosma Kate Medifat new punch art erased to n Golway Cosma 0 newtons. Okay. And then you okay, lesson? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's your negative? Do you may rub on them all? Or was you get a couple of seconds or?
Sure.
All right. All right. Okay. Right. So kiss journey. Kiss you over the shea. J test again. So when a tennis ball is struck by a racket, its momentum changes by 2.25 kilograms meter per second in a certain direction. Okay, if the ball is in contact with the racket for 0.5 seconds, what is the average force exerted by the racket on the ball? Okay, now, so race can you go force quadrumla and rate momentum. Okay, so J task for the so race task in this question, what's the rate of momentum? So it is a goal like 2.25 kilograms meter per second. Okay, so right at 2.25 kilograms meter per second. So can you combination mass by velocity? So hug session do. So momentum should mass media for treoluas, which is kilograms per meter per second. Agus rate out momentum means kaimiji horskan arm. Agus media arm no nyamni punch nyamni quick second. Agus test kun nash question kodumla open to shina might the half later you 2.25 around there nyamni punch nyamni quick. Agus you to cara quick. Okay. Now, I guess shouldn't question Johnson. So, shouldn't exercise we punch it all. Now, remember to ask you rate three in humid momentum. So, back to share screen. I guess we just got to ask you three in humid momentum. Okay. Now, so. Part on short, you shall lay in principle in humid and momentum. So, reached a gas edric new edric yeah harp. So, if there's an interaction between two bodies, non small, your principle in humid and momentum go on momentum omlan river and edric new, cosmos momentum omlan and ye and edric new, as no new in forcey shacter or chorus and corruption. So, reached we're handling with the yeah car and collision. The momentum before equals the momentum after, as long as there's no other external forces. Now, the mu yeah car the bully hill. Jane the external forces he gets shas native dara. Jigla can the wine into the.
Sorry, get him on you. Jigla in our race.
Oh yeah, mama. Right, okay. Right. What the yeah car and collision la hill. Right? Now, the momentum river, Gulve called momentum Niye asked more forcey shaktra be Kurishahar. But in real life, Jane the forcey shaktra, a Horace standard will in Ye Harley Hilla. What are the external forces? Jigla can the wine you should do?
Wind, no?
Yeah, air resistance. Yeah. So, every air resistance. Or loud that the can lynch do. Free homage, yeah. Okay, free homage can allow because there's the goal well in yet to free homage goal away on faster. Okay, so raise shen the external forces. The well in ye Harley Hill to free homage goal Harley success. There does it need the ball more, does it well in yet Hill, I guess the reason the forcey air, 30 air goal hard to scenario faster. But mono watch it in scenario then. Test when three in humid momentum, go momentum omlan riven and buelche, cosmos momentum omlan in ye and buelche. We shouldn't solid again in ye. Okay, so very straightforward. Now, formula for the honey. So reached what the carp went, with the yeah carp going emihin is emido. Now with the carp hin glue shirt la treoluas you hin, I guess the carp dog glue shirt the treoluas you do. So the momentum rev and then buelche, so emihin you hin, so shin momentum, mass midi for treoluas. So the mass for treoluas then get carp plus mass I guess from momentum then down the carp, got a codumlish. A momentum in ye in buelche. So emihin plus emida vida. Okay? So ten reven in buelche and buelu agus in ye in buelche. Te to galve codrum like hell. A recent formulation is the in the lower table. Chili in her momentum, emihin uhin plus emida uda, cosma emihin vihin plus emida vida. Now, maar ook into so much school stop us here and so just meet your shin right now mata carp Aberness school carp homes and shin emihin I guess school carp and shaw emida the wall bugadi so to shin a gobber a bugula vihin near shin a bugadi so to vida you da cosmos 0 okay now another collate in the carshin for example a carption is just a carption shaw ten virch abog gram shit the hella agus bog na virch hul so reach hoklat reach gol emihin gram he ta emida agus ten virch gol wog hul la V. Okay? So rís dói hoclainn formula sin is scrí bhfuil M hín, U hín, codum la V mídifa M hín plus M dó. So just dói what a carp agus bogan a virtue hiú le heile higan na formula dhéanú ní siampli. Because to U codum a 0, you may reach the M dó mídifa 0 is 0. So rís basically goal a momentum dan head carp codum sin momentum dan carp na wogan sit hiú le heile. So kaitin mass a homu la heile. So just punch all this there's my Jenny Kistney slí in chumid momentum. Okay? Now my image rash in PowerPoint. So we may take a punch in the so it reached sin the formula from the hunde. Now the experiment let Jenny for show. Now for the experiment obviously you aim then you go to track machine or the be you say with the linear air track. I guess be radar going in the mehan or can the one yes canella. Now kaimich doinat el linear harp a grambule hille. So hence the track away right a she's bullish and darnican agus spoken of virtue hula hilla. So the majadishin now doi higlinshin he get magnet usage, he get cork agus panna usage or he get velcro to rodio or going la velcro fast the grammar to the hilla. So the neoti cash for the momentum is the pepper screw the here, Korjagoni cash short, kin doi packed the harange agus the tower to get label into a doi a grammar a trolley or a rider la hilla. Okay, now short can you such take your timer tape when within you go such a linear air track. Okay, now shin jeru a chapter or a PowerPoint at the ogum divan chan. So chain wrote the faculty genu na exercise 9.3 against the experiment la genu or yahana Kate Sahin. So just learn the experiment to be new div. Now obviously you would add the experiment to yenu. So just kind of maybe you div or a whiteboard and show. Okay. So my lockimage sketch. So just frame it back at stops here. Now make it as in linear air track and show. So lockimage linear air track. So you know my sketch go my apple to send the linear air tracking. Now to rider when go away show. It's obviously the card the go away. Okay. So the shin the Golovin the card. So shin card la fad S. Okay. Now to photogate Golovin good and show. I guess the rest of shin Golovin can to funny armor hortudin lock a shot done yet rider or free head photogate. Okay. So ocean Tamajad the mass hina or brumajin mass take a rider. I guess take the mehan horror mathemageri. I guess to rider a little in the he in shogun. So shin emada I guess new horror card to be a concho. Because to me go such a S kernel pigeon length diction to me go such a right kernel lahal fridge a darna photogate. It's the shin canal chiguji data logger over student armor locker done virch. Now Nerton virch been virch canal to la hill and shaw la to canoguni against the car and shaw against been pun and shaw. So there's bogan shaw she's free to photogate, well in shan car and shan grammar of verti hill against bogan of virch and shan free a darna photogate against the majaldin arm. Now the gray been corda ogun Eric and shaw. Got thrust and shaw against the pulley bug and shaw going listen to mehan a horror for your acceleration. Okay. Now, so the reach can the upper image mark gene treoluas at or gene momentum reven and buelche. So can you count your test going go you codumla for the card is going T he. Te V codumla for the card is going T do. Okay. So race tasking is called momentum river. So shin mass hien medifa u hien plus mass da medifa u da. In this case, session codumla 0 because to u in short nyasha bogadi so the shin codumla to u da codumla knowledge. Codumla M hien plus m dá, cos na bhar gramí le heile médi fa v. Okay, so the medini geri seo chruhu. That's momentum before equals momentum after. Now, listen air track, your external forces and your friction that you beyond. Tire rubber friction air, but can go into kill you be marno. Okay, so reached more brim within your shohama, tasking equal m heen, maybe for u heen, plus 0 because the u dog will be not because near Shabogadi, call it a cottonla, m heen plus m dos, or some with ye mass la hella, agus to v cottonla, maybe for v. So be with audition nash horisha, and so lower experiment, agus be with de obruma. Would Keshnik then you be flu dashin? Okay, so well, just aber okay or right near them because now some car we brushing the internet and some would to say go off and you also so well I hadn't yet me host challenge and yeah okay right so near your experiments to be ogum so are the your experiments be ogin can be ogin keshni yenu or mass agus momentum so obramager shan Moira agus or obramager in the keshni 9.3 Moira agus in near rammer freeting experiment or live but you chance hol shan the football school but when you they settle so agus an experiment video yenu done experiment so very idea diff kindly yenu okay will keshni then your be No, you okay. Right. So, Jokalov, Tasha Lehani 3 nash. So, tomorrow cleaning wrong in you. Jokalov mer oberballe. So, the quid you bomb to fire 20 minutes fire is wrong. So, mer oberballe Jokalov cart 9.3 you do. So, my hasn't should be you should hit couple of questions. But you will body it in quid jig. So the issue for your oberball keshni heen gajini. Okay, for your moira. I guess the wrong moira and rhyme free a couple of ard level shin OJ she's gaji quid jig. So keshni gray level heen gajini for your oberball moira. I guess rhyme and shin so quadrilla wrong rhyme OJ she's gaji quid jig. Okay, I guess in mid range in the moira la cabajal. Force, mass, agus, momentum. Okay. Well, Keshnig then you be te murder my love the loon te California agus gal like the Mujari League the loon. Well, road the be emni na road the be while of May Hortinese eggy crenation. Well, road the be 18 to level a diet homeschooling gal. Yeah, okay. That's perfect. Okay, Matero the be he got chat he got text Horogun frigid modun or the be Matero the be to get him a Hortinese eggy crenu the loon. Okay, so Shane Manuel Keshnig then you be he got Lagalama agus Jeff Mashev from Wada.
Right, good.
Okay, slide.